Hello everyone, my name is Nerd Builder. I'd like to welcome you back into another episode of MineColonies. I hope you're having a great day so far. So this previous week, we were once again very busy and we started doing something a little bit different this week. This week, what we were trying to do is really focus on the roads, which we've done that in weeks past, but we decided early in the week that instead of trying to conform the roads around some of our buildings that did not line up perfectly on the grid, that it would be a good idea to essentially take down those buildings and rebuild them, and also give them a style upgrade as well to the Caledonia style. And we've done that with a few buildings so far. It's obviously a much slower and longer process, because they have to deconstruct and then reconstruct, and then many of the materials cannot be used again. They use different color, like shingles, for example. Cobblestone is still used widely, but it's a little bit more of it's a different style. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around, because we did do a few. So let me hop into the car here, and I'll take you down first by our forester's hut over here. So we have, as I mentioned, we have done a handful of buildings, but let's go ahead and head on down here. The forester being the first one, we still have to adjust the road, but you could see kind of, and it's very difficult to see in the snow. So right here. So the forester's hut used to be right about here, and we moved it back, and we did give it a style upgrade here, which I think it looks great. And the thing that I like too, because I remember I was saying this since we built it and since we've been upgrading it, that I was surprised that there were never any racks in the original forester's hut. Like, all you had was the work block and, the little inventory space there. But now, and it looks like he's already filling it up a lot. But yeah, so I was happy to see now that he does have some racks in here. And again, this is at level 4 right now, and there's actually a chest all the way up there, so I'll be interested to see if he tucks anything away in there once he fills up these racks right here. But I like this style a lot, and like I said, I really like the racks, because that way he can hold some more material there. But yeah, it used to be further up here, so we moved this back a little bit here, and we're going to do the same thing with this guard tower over here. And reason being that it's in the way of the road. When we put this in originally, like the outer boundary used to be this mine over here, and then we put this in, and well, I should say the fisherman's hut was the boundary, but we didn't really have much protection over here. We just had the mine, the fisherman's hut, and that was it. This was more wide open. But yeah, and that's when we put this in. But I think we're going to move this over to around here. I think there's some room maybe down here. We're going to try to fit it in somewhere else, opposed to being over here, just because it's no longer needed in this area. And this guard actually will support the mine over there, that they've been patrolling the mine, especially because they've been digging down so far. So might as well, we could just move this around there. But yeah, so this one will be forthcoming, but I'll show the biggest one that we did coming up next. The hospital took a long time and a lot of material to do to get it up. We also upgraded it to level 4 as well. Let's go ahead and go up the hill here, and we'll go ahead and we'll stop off right here. Okay, so I really like this look. This is a level 4 hospital using the Caledonia style, and it's definitely one of the bigger buildings in our colony now. Height-wise, it's one of the bigger ones. University still takes the mantle for the biggest building, but outside of the Enchanter's Tower, I think this is the next tallest building, and I really, really like this look a lot. So you can see there's a lot more incorporation of like fence there, and I think the texture pack really adds to it with the way it modifies the fences there. But I think this just looks great, especially with like the glass. I think the glass looks really cool on it. Let me just show the inside, and you can see the warehouse is full there. But yeah, so this looks really cool. You kind of have like an operating table, and I like that there's like a little bit of what appears to be like blood or something on the table here. And then you head on upstairs here, and that's where the patient beds are. And the funny thing, while we were reconstructing this, first it was perfect timing that there was a huge like influenza outbreak, and about like I think about 15 or so colonists had influenza. And it was like a weird thing because while Emmy was building the hospital here, they were kind of like it was weird, they were like morphing around, and it seemed like they were trying to get to a bed, but the beds weren't placed down yet, so they were kind of just like running in a circle, or like in a pattern anyways, around, and like they would not heal. So what I had to keep doing was giving them carrots and potatoes, backing out, and then they were, when I logged back in, they were healing. So for some reason, I don't know, it was a weird glitch. Again, it could just be because again we are in the 119 beta still, so that could be why. But it was a difficult thing because this took a while to get this built, and then at the same time we had to monitor to cure colonists. But a lot more spacious up here, and I actually upped the minimum stock of material there, and I think they stored a bunch down here. So with like kelp, and I've been stacking and getting some honey bottles as well for them from some of the hives. We still have to get a beekeeper, which will be coming up down the line, but I figure at least get them some honey bottles for now, so they're kind of storing that right there. And I'm going to talk about just two more things before we jump into today's build. So there's probably a little bit of snow, so it might be hard to see what we did, but I'll come over here. We did work on expanding the road a little bit more out this way. We're just kind of resource bound because we're having a little bit of a cobblestone shortage right now, but the difference being over here, well, actually a couple more things. So the road, we extended all the way out to here. We have a little bit more to go here. The site is less complete. We ran out of asphalt and we ran out of stone, or out of brick slabs here, as we had to get some more cobblestone so our crusher could convert, and the whole thing. So, but we did move back also both plantations, and we changed both plantations. So you can see over here that this is a level 4 plantation using the Caledonia style. So the roofing is like a lot different. It uses a lot of cobblestone extra opposed to brick extra, which was the base of the original MineColonies pack. So this one's still at level 3, and we'll have to get this upgraded. But the main purpose for getting them upgraded was the newer, the 119 version. The plantation is a lot more compact, because I was talking about this early on, that I thought it was weird that they had so much space allocated around, and like just a little bit of it was used. Like there was not a lot of space utilized. So I'm happy that they kind of made this a lot more condensed. We brought it all the way back to our wall here, and we had just enough room with this sitting on top of the wall back here. But that way we didn't have to, because originally I thought we were going to have to end the boulevard and essentially have both of them merge into one road. And as we saw in certain areas, obviously there's no curves and it's hard to make turn radiuses in Minecraft. So it's preferable to have straight road like this. But now that we've been able to push this back all the way back here, yeah, it doesn't impact the road anymore, which is lovely, because again, now we could just have the straight road running all the way down, probably to the edge of our colony. So I think I think this was a good move to get this all moved back here. So yeah, those have been the big projects that we worked on this past week, a lot with the roads. And one more update. So I'm actually going to head on over. We're going to put the car back by the house and we'll fly. Or we could probably just walk over. Oh, geez. Hit the cow. Oops. We're still having an issue with the cow hand. And, drop a comment down below if you figured out a solution. I don't know if like a second gate would maybe help. The cow hand from time to time will leave the gate wide open and they'll wander out. It happens more so when we get raids, but it'll also happen just sometimes at random. So let me go ahead. We're just going to park this here, and I'm going to head on over here. Oh, and another thing too, we do have a cargo plane now as well. So we have our regular plane and our cargo plane, which has a slightly higher fuel capacity at 18,000 opposed to I think it's 15,000 on the other plane. And this one has a inventory. Here, let me actually step outside, crouch down and click. and you could see all the inventory space here. So we're going to look to put a runway in by the iron farm, and maybe in like a few other areas of the world where we might want to, like the terracotta desert, for example, that if we want to come back with a good amount of material, we could take the plane and land the plane there and stock it up that way. But let me head on over more so towards our wool farm area and our auto sugarcane farm area. So let me head on down there. And the reason we're coming over here is we did a bunch of planning this past week regarding putting a bridge, like a bridge over this area. And you can kind of see right here that we kind of marked it off a little bit. So the reason I want to put a bridge in over here is because the wool farm is producing a ton of wool. And it turns out that the wool can be used in the composter's hut, which is excellent because the composters have been burning through a compostable material a lot, and like we're basically out of seeds, we're out of saplings, leaves like go quickly. So wool is definitely something that we can utilize a lot, and we can take it and drop it off in their huts. But again, it's a pain in the butt to have to clear out my inventory and use some fireworks to go back and forth between the farm here and over towards, well, our warehouse, or over towards the composters there. So I figured it would be a good idea to put a bridge in going across the river here. We are going to look at a pre-made one, but it turns out in the 118 version, they used to have like bridges that you could build. Granted, they weren't large bridges, but I was going to see if we could do like a pre-made one, because again, the colony borders almost extend to the other side now, and we could make it extend if we move the guard tower somewhere over here, maybe up here, which we may do anyways eventually, just to create a little bit more space, just put it over here. But I feel like we'll craft one ourselves. We couldn't find one there. There were some other options, like, you know, using a gate, but at the end of the day, like it was very massive and didn't really fit the area very well, because again, I don't want to close off the river. Granted, we don't really need to use the boat anymore to get around, just because now we have an elytra, we have a plane, and that, and more so the elytra to get places, because it's easier to just take that route. But the bridge is going to help a lot, so we can drive our truck right across the river here and pull up by our wool farm and pull stuff out, our sugarcane farm and any other farms, because again, we have our canola farm, which produces for the fuel for the vehicles and the plane. And we also have a cotton farm over there, which we use for string. Because again, like we have the Cottonly mod installed, which I highly recommend. It gives you a excellent source of, well, wool that you can convert into string, but that way it kind of saves you the hassle of having to build a spider farm to get the wool. And again, like working with spiders is always a nightmare anyways. So that's going to be something that we're going to be doing coming up on our live streams this week. We're going to make an effort to do this. I think the design that we're going to use, cobbled deep slate bricks, are what we're going to be using, or deep slate bricks that we're going to be using to craft the bridge. And I think we're going to do a couple arches like heading over. So we're going to have what I think to be like a flat bottom. So we'll have this as a bottom layer. We're going to put some asphalt and some stone or some brick slabs, like a sidewalk going across. And then we'll have like on the side, what we'll have is like a little bit of an up, you know, so there's like a barrier, but then we're going to use like a series of iron fences and cobblestone or cobbled deep slate fences there as well, but iron bars we're going to use too, and we're going to have that going across and put lanterns on the bridge too. So I think it's going to look very cool. Oh, cool dolphin jumping in, but I think it's going to look very cool going across. So it's more about a functional thing. Like we could take the time and build like a really, really cool bridge, but I figure we want something that looks nice, but is also just functional, that, you know, again, so we can drive back and forth. Because again, the farms are like full up. I actually haven't replaced any of the shears in there. I think most of the shears have been used up by now, and we're out of our backup shears over there as well. I'd have to grab some iron there. But yeah, so that's going to be coming up this week. So I definitely would love some input on the bridge idea. You know, if you would like to see anything in specific, you know, we kind of talked it out on the stream about using deep slate bricks and that kind of thing. So I think this is going to work out very well. So hopefully for the next video, we're going to have the bridge all constructed so we can head over there as well. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the updates that have been going on this past week. I think we made a lot of progress. We still have a lot of progress to go. We still need to put a subway system in. We got to finish the roads. We gotta put this bridge in now. And now that we're going to do the undertaking of getting getting all of the buildings upgraded, like changed to the new style, I think is going to be an undertaking. But we got most of the what I've been calling the offenders who are not perfectly aligned to the grid of roads that we've been moving them. We have a few more to go, but other than that, we did, I think, a pretty good job keeping them in a good pattern so that they're kind of like matching up. All the buildings are matching up in that. So with that being said, I'm going to head on over to, and I'm hoping our winter's going to end very shortly so the snow will melt, make it easier. But yeah, we're going to head on over and we're going to go to the build site for today's build. So hang in there, hang on for 1 second, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're standing over in the northeastern part of our colony, and I debated where we should put today's build. Originally, I thought about putting it down here. This is where most of our production buildings have been. Down this way, you could see our wall right there, even though the border has extended past the wall. But I feel like instead of continuing to go down this way, which is a longer run for couriers, and that even though we are working through putting in a subway system, I think we should maybe start utilizing the rest of the space up here. There's not a lot of space, as you could see, but there is some, and I think it would be a good time to start filling this area up with some other buildings in that here. So for today's build, we're going to be doing the Sifter's hut. Now, I had previously constructed this because before the update, we were actually going to go forward with an episode on the Sifter's hut, but after the update, I held off on doing so, but I kept the block with me. I have crafted it before. I'll still go over how to actually craft the block. I'll pull up on the JEI there. But in order to get the Sifter's hut, you need to have a level 3 Fisher's hut, which is interesting, or 3 level 1 Fisher's huts. And you have to do the research in the university as well. So both of those things have to be done before you can build it. And the Sifter's hut is where the sifter will sift through dirt, gravel, sand, or soul sand to find loot. Doing this will make the block the sifter is sifting disappear, so it will disintegrate upon them getting it. So yeah, so as I mentioned, dirt, gravel, sand, and soul sand are the major blocks that they're going to use. Now, for our purpose, I think that gravel is going to be a big one, and I'll go through each one, but I think really gravel and maybe soul sand are both going to be very beneficial for us. We do have a lot of soul sand that our nether miner has been bringing back, so we can start having our sifter go through it. But yeah, so for dirt, they're able to produce, they have a chance for, I should say, because it's not a guarantee that they'll produce it, but there's a chance to get. So when they grab a dirt block, they could get beetroot seeds, carrots, melon seeds, potatoes, pumpkin seeds, oak saplings, spruce saplings, birch saplings, jungle saplings, acacia saplings, dark oak saplings, and wheat seeds, which we don't really need like any wheat seeds. We have more than enough as is. But gravel also allows for coal or diamonds or lapis lazuli, emeralds, flint, gold ingots, iron nuggets, and redstone. So good stuff, in there. I think gravel is going to be a big one for us, especially with diamonds. We can always use more diamonds. We have a pretty decent supply now, and now that we have mending on a bunch of our tools, it does come in handy that we don't need as many diamonds, but nonetheless, we should still have some anyways there. And sand, of course, you could change in the cacti, coca beans, which is interesting because we always have like a very limited supply of coca beans, gold nuggets, and sugarcane. And then the soul sand, which is the other valuable one. I think gravel and soul sand are going to be the two I really want them to go through, because you can get blaze powder, glowstone dust, magma cream, nether wart, quartz, or human skulls, which I'm not sure what we would do with the human skulls, but apparently we can get them through the soul sand. So, But yeah, so soul sand and gravel are the ones that I'm most looking forward to get some more resources. Again, our miners have been coming back with a lot, but again, can't hurt to get some more materials there. But also, so as another part of the build, you have to have a mesh that you use with the build. And the higher the level of the mesh, the higher the likelihood that the sifter will find loot. So again, as the building progresses, you can get better meshes and you're going to have a higher chance of actually getting something out of them, going through one of the blocks. So at a hut level 1, you can use string, and it appears that level 2 is also the same string. 3 is flint, 4 is iron, and 5 is diamond. So the Fletcher will actually be the one to craft it. I don't believe, because I've looked before, I don't believe that you can craft any of the meshes yourself, because when I looked on our JEI, you could see that they're here and that they exist, but at the same time, you see like only the Fletcher. It looks like, okay, so you can, yeah, it looks like you can enchant them, but I don't think there's a way to outright craft them yourself. I think it's something that the Fletcher is going to have to do. So it comes as we saw with the Fletcher's building, it does come already with the recipe in there. It's like a stock recipe. You can of course add to your Fletcher recipes, but you can add in this is like an auto recipe. So the Fletcher, they'll put the request into the Fletcher, and then the Fletcher will craft it for you. And of course, with the level of the building dictates how many blocks they can go through a day. So at a hut level 1, it's 64, 2, 256, so a pretty substantial jump. 3, 576, 4, 1024, and 5, unlimited. And at that point, you start to wonder, if they're going to be burning through too much material there, which is something to probably keep a look at, because even for dirt, when we do terraforming around the colony, we do need some of that. There, gravel we can take or leave. Sand, we usually don't have a lot left over of sand, but soul sand, and soul sand, we tend to have a lot too, but it seems like they can really burn through some of the material there. But yeah, let's go ahead, and I'm just going to type in here in our JEI the Sifter's hut, so you can see it. You can see the recipe here. As I mentioned, I already have it crafted, but you will need 3 string, your build tool, of course, and then your plank of choice. Doesn't matter, whichever one you want to use. So that'll give you the Sifter's block. Now I'm going to change back into the first person here, and we're going to place it right over here, size permitting. So we'll see how big this thing is here. And I think what we're going to do, because recently we've started, as I mentioned earlier, changing our style of buildings, and I really like the look of the Catalonia. Let me see, I said I see Fortress. I debated with Fortress. Interesting. Does this one not have... Oh, here it is, Catalonia. Okay, it was further down there. So let's go ahead with this style here, and we have to find... I'm guessing it's somewhere... There it is, Sifter. Okay, so it's under the masonry there, but let's go ahead, click that, and we'll take a look at this thing at level 5, and okay, it's pretty big. I do like this Catalonia style look. Wow, that's big. Okay. Alright, so I think we're on the back side of this, but let's take a look. Yeah, this appears, I think, to be the front side, unless it's over here. No. Okay. Let's flip this thing around, though. This kind of looks like the back way. I think we'll have it facing this way. So, okay, we'll go ahead and we'll put it down. I think it should be right about here. And I do like this look, or this style of it. I debated with, like, Fortress changing them too, but I feel like it's kind of maintains, it's somewhat of the look that we've been going through, but it's slightly different than, like, some of these stone buildings that we already have. So this is a pretty big building. Let's see, because we're going to want to leave some room on the side here, but let me move it over, and we can actually bring it up to, if we leave a straight, actually move it back, because we'll want to do 1, 2, and then if we do a street, All right, so just one more back, and we should be good there. And we'll leave some room on the side here for the wall. But eventually, when we extend the wall, what we might have to do is do one on the outside there, since we have a little bit of limited room over here. But, oh wait, is this... Okay, wait, this is the front side. Never mind, I just saw the door. There, the door looks so different with this texture pack. Let's head back over here. And let's see, is the door... Okay, the door is here, so good. Okay, so this is the front. Let's make sure, for purposes of roads, we've been trying to fix that up so everything aligns to a grid. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, that's good. There, let me just double check and count. It's hard to see with the snow. We had a snowstorm right as I was coming over here. It jumped into a snowstorm, so I had to wait for that to pass so we could go to sleep. So we don't freeze to death down here, because it does get notoriously cold in this area of the county. But good, let's put this down here. And excellent. And actually, we have to bring it over just a bit. All right, yeah, we'll do that. And let's see, coming up this way. And let's see, I might actually, let's move it over one. So it'll be right up against our wall over here. But the reason being is because we're going to be putting a street through over here. So I just want to make sure that things are lining up correctly. But I think with this, yeah. Because again, we're going to have a sidewalk coming through here. Let me raise this. Probably could bring it over one more. Just making sure so we don't have to deconstruct. So we want to follow this right here. This will be sidewalk. Yeah, this will be good, because this will be the edge of the sidewalk. Okay, very good. So let's go ahead, put this down. And I like this look. Let's go and let's place it. There we go. And let's take a look here at what is required. So cobblestone wall, spruce stairs, ladder, spruce door, crafting table, cobblestone stairs, coarse dirt, spruce planks, oak slab, stripped oak, log. Interesting, okay. Oak stairs. All right, so there's actually a lot involved with this one. Nothing that our builders can't make, although the grindstone they probably can't make. I wonder, I could probably teach the mechanic that recipe very quickly. But what I think we'll do is we will back out right now, and I think we're going to do this by way of a time lapse, so you could see, we could see this thing getting built. So I'm just going to go teach the recipe for the grindstone, and then we'll get started. Okay, so it took a little bit of time. I think this is, one of the first builds that we've done since the update to 119. And I thought it was interesting because something I just noticed while the construction was going on. It used to be that within the construction zone that they would clear out all of the trees and any obstacles in the way there. But I noticed that this time he started building without clearing anything, and then like we saw there was kind of some delays as he would go probably run back to grab an axe, come back and chop down some of the tree, and then presumably run back and drop some stuff off. But yeah, they kind of waited to the end to get everything taken, or all the trees taken down, and that because I thought they were just going to leave them and build around them. That's what I thought was going to happen, but it looks like they did chop them down full. You could see Maddox hanging out over there with his torch. But yeah, I think this looks really cool. This design, I really like this Catalonia design. And let's turn around and let's head on over to the work block right here. And we'll take a look at what's needed for the next level. So not a lot. A blue cobblestone. Interesting. Blue cobblestone extra. That's a first. We have not had that yet. Nether bricks. Okay, so we'll have to teach these recipes to the stonemason. You can see our warehouse is full once again. But let's go ahead and let's see. So we're going to need some strength and focus here. And actually, it looks like Liliana has the lead. So I guess we'll go ahead and we'll hire her. There we go. We still have a couple people ready. They're training in the library. So we'll get the worker over here. But yeah, you can see there's no option to add any custom recipes. Again, they are fixed, so they know them right from the start here. But you can see with the string mesh here that that's what's going to be required. So let's go ahead and let's try to see if we can put in a minimum stock here. Oh, I don't know if we need a stack. Well, let's go ahead and just do it. So we'll get a stack there, but yeah, there'll be some inventory space. I don't see... I think, was there a chest on the inside? There might have been a chest on the inside here. Yeah, there was. Okay, so there was a chest there, but good. So yeah, I'm excited for this. We'll see how this works. I think obviously they're going to have to get the string mesh first, so the request has been put in. The Fletcher will be the one who crafts it. So I'll keep you guys posted on it as we see here how this goes, to see if it drains down resources too much. I'll be curious to see if we take a huge dip in some of our dirt supply and even our soul sand if we end up burning through all that. So soil, if we end up burning through all of that. And we could see here's Liliana right now. And okay, so she needs her string mesh to sift with. Okay, you can either manually stock different meshes in my hut or set a minimum stock. Okay. Yep, well, we're waiting on it, so we could see right here that the request is in, and the Fletcher is requesting string, which there should be a bunch of string in the warehouse. So, yeah, looking good. I think we filled up some more area over here because I was kind of thinking about, what else we're going to end up putting over here, and not a lot of room left. We do have the guard tower, like, right here, so maybe we could put in, like, one more building over here, and then maybe we'll make this a green space or something up in this direction. I guess we'll see. But that looks cool too. But yeah, I think we're going to leave it here for today, guys. Thank you so much for coming and checking out the Sifter's Hut video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please consider dropping a like down below. It's a great free way to support our channel and our community here, and always very much appreciated. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free. Again, another excellent way to support the channel for free. And it's always greatly appreciated, all of the support. And we do have a Discord that is open to everyone, or I post a schedule. I have information about our mod packs and our resource packs. And you can ask questions on MineColonies and just chat about MineColonies, or Minecraft in general, or whatever there. So head on over there, open and free to everyone. And yeah, so we'll be back in the next week. I think we're going to be doing the concrete mixer's hut, and I'll explain more next week why we're going to be doing that. But I think we'll be doing that. So until then, thank you so much. My name is Nerd Builder. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.